Hello, new update and new thingy, some adapt to the guards. Game advertises this one as the possibility of getting rid of the unnecessary guard fragments and cards as the answer to our cries. We've recently talked to the developers reps and as always we strongly suggest, hey, could you slow down the updates a bit? Maybe 9-month cycle comparing to the current 6? And their answer was no. But in the next update, we will give you something you will be able to get rid of the old guard fragments. So here we are, Constellations. You can start from reading the article in the news section. At this moment, Constellations are not available on 4 newest guards, Bella, Donna, Malik and Iluna. As I understand, this is for giving the old guards the chance first place. If any of you uses only these 4, here's an obvious question. Does this update make sense at all? First, as always, little disclaimer, this movie is my initiative. It's based on my and other players' observations and on my tests plus what I've read in-game. So if anything appears to be wrong in the long run, you will find the info in the description or in form of pinned comment. Okay, so where is it? When you click any S card, other classes don't have it, so any gold guard except of 4 newest ones, you need to click the Star tab. Constellations are, if I wanted to explain it in a simple way, double stats on stars. They give us other independent benefits. We click Constellations and we have 1 on each star. To get this main benefit on the left, you need to complete all these stages. They give you some specific effects. Let's look at Lucien here. To activate this extra 8000 march cap, you need to complete all these stages. Distance defense, health, attack, march cap and distance damage. All except of the last one have 3 sub-stages, so remember about it when you count the items. So far from my observation, it seems each substage gives and takes the same amount of stuff. So you will gain 30% each stage and it costs the same. Now what we need to complete these stages? We need guard fragments and star flakes, which monsters already named snowflakes. First, let's do snowflakes. They're available in 2 places. 40 for free in expeditions, and here I've already heard they cost quite a bit comparing to expedition coin gain. And packs, their number is limited. They're probably refreshing every day and we have 1, 5, 10 and $20 each. They give 50, 100 and 200 snowflakes. At first sight, I think this purchase is quite justified, but let's see if this is going to be another lieutenant position. The thing I don't spend at all because I have other things to waste my money on. Second, we need guard fragments. Of course, to upgrade Lucien, I need Lucien frags. Here we can use these Sandbages recruitment frags, which we all hate so much. Now we can hate it a little bit less, because we can use these. But if you don't have any, you may convert the whole cards into fragments. We can see the obvious advantage of all their kingdoms. They have a lot of these cards. Also these who didn't dismantle basic cards to upgrade skills. Only used these advisor cards. Not to mention spenders have obvious advantage as well. Constellations have very different costs, and even though we cannot choose which constellation to do, we have to do them in order. I think there is some element of strategy, and I'll show you in a moment. The cheapest activation I found costs 2, the most expensive 521 snowflakes. So you have many options. Of course, the cost is not the only one factor. You can also choose the quality of stats you want to upgrade. We have bonuses strictly connected to the card use, and bonuses with the info benefits all troops. We also have complicated descriptions of constellations on newer guards. These boost specific subclasses or they're described as passive skill. We also have bonuses inside the constellations, the effects. We have everything here, normal stats, troop stats, damage including X versus Y, gather boosts and even estate stats. Okay, so what works when and what's worth to upgrade? If the newest guards were unlocked, the choice would be obvious, but we need to find our own best way. I did it first so you wouldn't make my mistakes. I also spent some money on it on first day. What was my way of thinking? After first quick review, my first choice was Aramis. I thought I still use him sometimes as a leader, and if it appears all these bonuses are active only when they're led by Aramis, I won't lose much. I know game describes some as general boosts. Let's just say I have some trust issues. It appeared boosts on Aramis are quite expensive and I ran out of snowflakes quickly. Initially I only boosted 2 stages. The effects are visible here. This case it was 180% on infantry defense and health. This slight boost and my tests proved that this stage's stats do not count to your overall stats if this guard is not in March. Let's say my way of thinking was quite okay because I use Aramis as leader anyway. My next test, I chose Muffin. I wanted to cheaply check if these stage boosts count to general stats if the constellation is finished. So far I'm not sure of it because I didn't finish Aramis' first constellation. I buy my packs via App Gallery. There is new campaign in Poland. If you want to save some money, mail me or use link in the description below. I buy my €10 pack with €3 save total. So what's the answer? Do these stage stats count to your general stats, even if you don't use the guard in March? The answer is no, no matter if you finished it or not, these stages are only for guard in the March. This test cost me 35 snowflakes, but I will definitely upgrade Muffin quickly anyway. You will find out why at the end of this movie. So is my rally cap bigger by 10k now? I didn't observe it before I upgraded Muffin, so to make sure this benefits all troops comment counts on all marches and guards, I'll do another test. I chose Roche. He's the only one I own that has troop stats. Second is Vauban, so my choice wasn't random. It also contains estate stats. They are useless for me as I use different guards on my wall. If you use him and you boost his constellations, let me know if you see any difference. I ran out of snowflakes at the last stage, so I buy another pack. There's only one €20 pack. Thanks to App Gallery I save €5. Huawei campaign is for these who don't want to pay the full price. You just need to switch to App Gallery store and use my campaign. Okay, I finished my first Roche constellation. After testing it, I can confirm this bracket benefits all troops, thus give general boost. The guard doesn't have to be in March. This is basically the most important information. And as the consequence of it, I may tell you, you can upgrade some base stats and troop stats by couple hundred fairly easily and cheap. You just need to upgrade these benefits all troops constellations. Okay, so what's worth to upgrade? First, definitely these guards which we still use in marches, so the gain is double. I may add, I already see Aramis star influence in fourth. Next, very interesting choice would be Roche or Vauban if you have him. These two have easy and cheap troop stats, so I recommend to upgrade them to the third constellation included. What else? If you want to boost regular stats, why not? You can find them on second and third constellation, each oldest guard. You may find infantry defense and health on Ines, D'Artagnan and Henry. You can see percents on the screen. Cavalry defense and attack on Anne, Gaston, Milady and Van Helsing. Distance health and attack you have on Maupin, Santa, Lucien and Araba. That's why I'll use and boost Maupin soon. I just started. Whatever you prefer, choose this one. There are some interesting constellations. Look at Lucien's last one. It will boost your damage general stats, but on the grenadiers only, so T13s and T11s and so on. Here you need to recall subclasses knowledge to understand it correctly. These are not the cheapest, but if you solely fight with distance, kisses to K39, I think it is worth to check out. These all distance guards. Next group I'd like to mention is middle guards. I mean Anne with Aramis, Lara with Joanne, and Blackbird with Jacot. These guards have their constellations quite expensive and their descriptions are quite complicated. Let's check out Aramis. Second constellation will give us the benefit depending on infantry number in March. Third constellation gives damage reduction to all troops. Very important but pricey. But all troops? Aramis doesn't have to be in March for this boost to work, but it only boosts musketeers, its infantry subclass, T13s, T11s and so on, and has support for pikemen on 3rd and 4th constellation, so T12s, T10s and so on. The same rule applies on other middle guards. Joanne and Lara have similar boosts on cavalry, Lara on light cavalry, Joanne on heavy, which basically means, when you think about it, before T14s are introduced, you may skip Joanne by now. Of course, I don't mean monsters who love distance or infantry because of the 5th constellation. Very expensive but seems quite important. And last but not least, we have Blackbird and Jacot. Jacot has something extra boosting distance T12s, so riflemen, and all troops are boosted for T13s, for example, so grenadiers. And Blackbird has it exactly opposite, it fires grenadiers and all troops have rifleman boost. Remember, these subclass stats won't be visible in reports because we don't have subclass stats here, at least not yet. They should be active for all troops and all guards. All tests from normal stats suggest so. We can only have faith. It is exactly like on main class stats, so infantry, cavalry and distance. At least logic says so. To finish this quite long movie, I may add the constellations are visible in the reports. Stars turn blue. Constellations, picture and stages, gains are exactly the same on same pair of guards. So for example, Anne and Gaston or Jacot and Blackbird. Monsters should pay attention to all constellations containing Rally Cap. There's extra 90k total in here. And all this update is to prevent monsters who want to suddenly come back to game and build everything from scratch within a day. Now it is not possible without some amount of time and money, of course. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know or write them in the comments.